Hi, welcome to the next episode of That Jew Can Cook. Today we're going to be making baked falafel. Falafel is something that's, traditionally deep fried. It's the balls. I'm going to make them baked. I'm trying to watch my girth here, so I'm trying to eat a little healthier than I've been in the past. I mean, it's a little easy to say. I had a pig roast a couple of weeks ago for July 4th. That was pretty insane. So I'm going to try to do a little bit of a healthy version of falafel. I actually have a cousin who I haven't seen in like 15 years on Facebook, and she was mentioning that she was making baked falafels, and I inquired, I asked her about the recipe. It's my cousin Erin. I asked her about the recipe and she shared it with me, and it's great. Hopefully she's watching this. First thing you're gonna do is you need to find where you put the beans, because I didn't prep the board right. So anyway, it's a giant can of beans. I already drained them, and it's pretty easy. Dump them in a bowl and just smash them up. You want them kind of roughly smashed up. You definitely don't want to blend it. You may be able to get away with a couple of pulses in the food processor, maybe quicker. The other thing, before I did this, I actually preheated the oven to 375. That's where we're going to bake them. So, well, where else would you bake them? So, anyway, just smash them up with a fork. Just quick and easy. You'll probably use a potato masher is even quicker. I don't have one of those, so fork it is. Okay, so basically, you want to get it to look kind of like that. There's a couple of whole ones still in there. They're, but mostly they're pretty broken up. Next, you want 3 tablespoons of parsley. So I rinsed this off already, and I'll just mince this up. Make sure you rinse your parsley, and we're also going to add some cilantro. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of cilantro. Make sure you rinse it really well. They're often pretty gritty. Cilantro is worse than parsley. I mean, it's not nearly as bad as spinach or, what's the other one? There's one other one. Or dill is just covered in mud. But still, you want to make sure you get all the sand off. And this isn't like baking. It's not an exact science. So there's 1. Oh, this is going to be good. 2, 3, and change. Even though that change looks more like another tablespoon. You know what? Parsley hardly has any taste anyway. So 1 tablespoon of cilantro. Cilantro is pretty aggressive, so this extra bit that I'm throwing in is probably not a smart idea, but what are you going to do? Also, the recipe calls for 1 medium onion diced. I don't really have an onion, or 1 small onion diced. I don't really have an onion. I got a shallot, which is, it's gonna have to do. I mean, can't imagine this shallot's gonna make it worse. One small onion / giant shallot. All right, now we're gonna add to this 2 tablespoons of flour. That'll bind it up a little bit. We're going to be adding 1 teaspoon of baking powder. That'll baking powder it up a little bit. I guess that'll, I don't know, I guess it'll cause it to rise or something like that. 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. 1 teaspoon of ground coriander. 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. ½ teaspoon of crushed red pepper. Add more or less based on your heat desire. And we need to add also 3 diced garlic cloves. Okay, so got the garlic in there, and last step is just go to the dishwasher and get a clean fork and mix all this up. So it was the baking powder, the flour, lemon juice, garlic, all that stuff. That's pretty much it. It is fully mixed up. It should look like that. It's kind of, pretty dry. It does fall apart a little bit. Oh, I forgot one thing. Oil. You need a little bit of oil. You need 1 teaspoon of olive oil. Okay, when you deep fry falafel, the whole outside gets nice and crusty and crunchy, and it's really good, and the inside is just hot and just moist, and it's really good. So when you bake, unfortunately, you don't get any of that. But you're also not frying it in a ton of oil that gets absorbed into all this stuff. So, but what you can do when you bake is the part that hits the tray, gets crunchy. It gets, you know, hard and crunchy. So you could kind of simulate a little bit. I mean, look, in the end, you're not frying it. It's not going to be nearly as good as frying it. I know that. You know that. Everybody knows that. But we're trying to bake today. So what we'll do is, to maximize the surface here, instead of making the balls, I'm going to make patties. I mean, in the end, these are like veggie burgers. They're going to come just chickpea veggie burgers is kind of how to think about it. And occasionally what I'll do is, as me touch my nose, occasionally what I'll do is I'll make a bunch of them, freeze them, and then just, you know, when I come home from work one day, boom, slap them in and good to go. So, instead of what you can do, it makes it easier to handle them, is I throw a little cooking spray on the sheet just to make it sticky. Not really sticky, it makes it slippery, but it makes paper stick to it. Paper I can't rip. Okay, so throw your parchment down, and now a little cooking spray just to make it release easy. What you do is you make these patties, nice generous kind of, you know, as if you were making a burger. You know, just push it down. You know, keep it nice and tight, tighten it up, flatten it, and that's your falafel patty. So we've got another one coming. Now these, they're a little fragile. It's not like you're going to take these and be winging them around. Okay, now you'll notice I didn't put any salt in. Now, chickpeas themselves, because I use the canned kind, are a little salty to begin with, so you don't need much. So what I do in the end is I throw, you know, some nice large, you know, sea salt on top. The big grains kind of stick to it, and it just makes it nice and salty, and it's great. Let me wash my hands. I'll be back. Oven's heated up. We have our 6 1/4 or 6 and a smidge kind of falafel patties. We're going to take this, throw it in the oven. Usually, take it like 15-20 minutes, flip it over, and then do the other side. That'll get it nice and crunchy, but based on your oven, you know, however long you have to do it. We're going to serve them. We're going to serve these either on pitas, or I've got flatbreads. They're lavash, I think they're called, with a little hummus and you know, a little cucumber salad on the side. Spectacular. So I'll see you in a little bit. So it's been about 20 minutes or so, and that looks about right. So why don't I flip them over, put it in for another 15-20 minutes, and we'll be good to go. It's been another 20 minutes or so, and I think we are ready. So look at those puppies. We'll just take that, we'll sprinkle a little salt on it. I said sea salt, this is kosher salt. Oh well. Frankly, sea salt, kosher salt, they all kind of taste the same. They all taste like salt. I mean, pink, river-based, mineral, smoky, salt. It's all salt. You know what's going to be in a billion years? It's going to be salt. Okay, so take 2 of these. While these were cooking, I took the liberty to put together a couple of plates so we have just a little bit of salad. We have some hummus, a little flatbread, and we'll give ourselves each 2 of these baked falafel burgers. I would just call it a chickpea burger, so it's not I was close. All right. We'll call it a chickpea burger, so as not to confuse anybody, but it does have its roots in falafel. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed our falafel episode. Hope you make it, and we'll see you soon.
Samo malo, malo bite tako, malo neću jako, malo bite samo onako, samo malo, malo bite tako, malo neću jako.